Hi, intrepid viewers, wherever you are in the world. It's Dr. Lena coming to you from Australia from tomorrow. It's already Sunday here. So we've got a lot to cover today. So let's get the disappointment out of the way first. Excuse me, I'm a bit croaky, too much talking. So, yes, in the Judge Merchan case, sentencing has been postponed, yawn. But luckily, you guys know, because I've been telling you for months, don't expect anything from this sentencing. I just got this blank energy around the sentencing in New York. He's fully convicted, but he would have just pushed it and appealed it, and it would have led to more chaos. So just imagine the bliss that once he loses the election and then he's sentenced. So although he'll still appeal, he won't have the income stream to keep paying lawyers, etc. And the sentencing, I think, will be, let's say, more realistic. You know, if he's a two-time loser and no longer an active presidential candidate. So don't worry about it. On the positive side, Judge Tanya Chutkan in the election fraud case has given the okay to Jack Smith before the election to submit evidence. And that, I presume, means we will hear a lot of the dirty dealings around that before the election. So let's have a look at that case. The Judge Chutkan case. I don't think this is Merchan's fault, by the way. It's just a very delicate time in history, and he's been given such privilege through the legal system. It's got to end eventually. So let's see how Jack Smith's evidence, what's our actual question? Will the evidence presented sway anybody, you know, from the other side of the fence? Will it have an influence? Let's put it that way. The actual evidence presented. Okay. All right. All right. I think this looks quite good for Jack Smith. God, if anyone deserved a bit of a break, it's Jack Smith. You know, he's up against an entire corrupt, non-Supreme Court, entertainment purposes only. But he's going for it. He's still got energy for the fight. And I think this judge does too. She understands it's a critical time in history. And I think they're both very focused on this. In terms of how will it influence people, look, we've got these two cards here. This is swords and swords. I think the Yeti is beginning to worry more about these cases, not with any reflection. Oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. No, he's incapable of reflection in any way. He's just a constipated baboon, you know. But it's starting to worry him. But he has created this situation here. I'm pleased with the overarching card, but I think we'll just look here first at this Five of Pentacles. This is people, I think, not being swayed by the evidence because they assume all evidence against their cult leader is fabricated evidence. So it doesn't matter, you can pile it on. People, sorry, I digress. People have been asking me, oh, what'll happen if there's more Epstein revelations, you know? No, I think the world and the voting population has become inured to scandal. and this is a problem, it wouldn't matter. It hasn't even impacted the other famous men it's affected, except for Prince Andrew, who's now out in the cold. But back to this reading, the election interference, this is people walking past the light. The light, I think, is representing the Kamala and Tim Walz ticket, and they're still forging on in the snow, following their guy. Now, on top, the victory card. I'm kind of loving this. This is on top of Tanya Chutkan and Jack Smith. This case will eventually end up victorious for them. But I say eventually because we all know, now we're all lawyers, we know how long these things take. But really, the Republic is not safe until this Supreme Court has actually secured some proper impeachments, got rid of a few of the more corrupt players, no mystery for their names. That would be Alito and Thomas, Kavanagh on the fence. I know what I want to read on. Amy Coney Barrett. Is it Comey or Coney Barrett? I think it's Comey Barrett. Strange woman, one of those who's had all the benefits of feminism, being able to get a fully fledged lawyer's life at the highest level, obviously has domestic help. Hello, I really don't think her husband's at home looking after the 7 kiddies. No, they'd have hired help. She's another Ivanka. You know. But the thing with Comey Barrett, even though she's profoundly conservative, she's apparently, the gossip is, she's actually at odds with Clarence Thomas, because I think at the end of the day, she's very conventional about the Constitution and things. So even though she wants to take it to as far right as you can possibly go, she's still enough of a legal eagle to not want to rip up all the precedents and convention. Now they've got Roe v. Wade out of the way. So can't forgive her for that. Please don't think I'm going soft on Amy. No, 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 no. I think she's one of the worst of the worst. But your enemy's enemy is your friend. And so apparently there's a bit of a thing and a feud. Is there anything in this story? Amy Coney Barrett and Clarence Thomas. Let's have a look. Amy Coney Barrett and Clarence Thomas. What's their story? So apparently they really don't like each other. Oh, stinky fish. Oh, look at this. All right. Well, she thinks with this Page of Cups, stinky fish, the surprise message. I think it's a bit of a surprise for all the Conservatives on the Supreme Court that she's not as compliant as they thought she would be. Underneath, oh, I'm glad you asked. Look at this. The Tower, I think she feels, and not without reason, that the Supreme Court is actually exploding. This is their Tower moment. And I think she knows more than we know. I think she's seen these men close up, and that has actually shocked her. Oh, wow. And she's terrified of going down in history as part of the complete explosion of the Supreme Court. This is her as an advocate in the most conventional way of upholding law and order, even though she undid 50 years of precedent. In her view, this is through her eyes. She thinks she's upholding law now, and she's prepared to work very hard at it. And I think she wants Justice Roberts' job. He's skated under the radar. This has happened on Justice Roberts' watch, right? All of this filth and mayhem. and she gets these two very strong legal cards. She might actually cross the floor on certain things from here on in. I think she's got her big one in the form of Roe v. Wade. And she's going to be a bit more reasonable. Oh, that'd be good. That would be good. Isn't it terrible? I can't even remember the names of the Liberal justices because, again, the corrupt ones suck all the oxygen out of the room and out of your brain. But in Australia, I'm pretty sure, any Australians can correct me, but I think our High Court judges have to retire at 70. It's not a bad move. Okay, so let's have a look here. Oh, of course, we're only an inch away from another threatened government shutdown. I'm sorry, when you're cleaning up the American infrastructure of government, Kamala, hope you're listening, this all has to change. It's the most ridiculous system. I don't know of any other country in the world where an elected government has to beg and borrow and carry on and make a case and be threatened with closing down governments routinely. This is crazy. I think it worked for 150 years or something because it was considered the bipartisan thing to do. You'd fight for a few extra things on your side. You'd let them have a bit on that side. But those days are gone, thanks to Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan. So let's have a look. This is their last throw of the dice too. With the threat of the shutdown coming, what can we expect with that? Oops, what fell out? Knight of Swords, yeah. This is them stopping at nothing. This is the impulsive, jealous knight. For those of you learning tarot, this can actually be the card of jealousy too. So while they've got the power, they're jealous of those who they assume are going to get it. And they're going to go in heedlessly. Sorry, let me bring you down for the rest of the card. So this is the government shutdown. Look, it's not catastrophic. I'm surprised. I thought they might do worse. Look, this is making a deal on emotional grounds, and these two are about money. This is the threat and the holdout. This is holding on to the money, holding the government hostage. Look what we can do. But a more sensible evaluation is in play. And so given that we had the card of deal making, this could be some Republicans crossing the floor. I think we're going to see more of this stuff. Enough that it will be kept open, but after threats are made, and I don't think it'll go through first time either. So, you know, be patient, but it's the last thing everyone needs because it's a massive distraction. So all the energy from in the next 4 weeks is going to be spent on that, and it's just not good for productivity. And this has been the least productive Congress in the history of the world already. You know, this is just going to seal their fate. All right, now, oh, this is juicy. There's a DOJ indictment out for 2 Russians who put an estimated $10 million into right-wing radio and podcast outlets to pump Russian propaganda and to spread disinformation, as in 2016. And it swept up a lot of right-wing commentators, including, I don't know them, fortunately, Tim Poole, Dave Rubin, Lauren Southern. They're all employed by Tenet Media. And Tenet Media has received a very generous donation of $10 million. Russian. So let's have a look at that case. Let's have a look at that case. Oh my goodness. Tenet media. And don't you love that Trump media is crashing through the floor? Crashing. So what's happening with Russia and Tenet media? Ah. Well, I think the course of this case is going to reveal a lot about other similar donations. King of Wands here, who I think is Putin in the context of this spread. And this is his, look, let's look at it this way. The USA, which is allegedly the most powerful country in the world and so on, can be put at risk. And you could argue that the Trump 2016 victory was helped along. There was enough nefarious things going on to just push him over the line when he was fresh and new. So for 10 million here, 5 million there, it buys a lot of Romanian hackers. It buys a lot of disinformation. These are minuscule amounts of money compared with weapons. Okay. So here he is. I think this King of Wands is very comfortable in this role. I think he doesn't have a qualm about this. He's focused more on his own survival and Ukraine, but he's thinking, well, I can do best in all these things if I can get Trump in. So he's still very pleased with this idea. This was secret, but apparently not secret enough because we know about it, okay? So they tried to keep it a secret. I think we're going to see more people brought in secrecy with this Knight of Cups. This is very Venetian, and Venice is a very mysterious city. So this is the messengers. And remember last time round, 2016, the bagmen were Lev Parnes and Igor. And look what happened with that, because Lev saw the light. So with this Tenet media stuff, I think it is still a work in progress from a legal point of view. However, here comes the sun. So the sun will shine. See, the hermit only has a lamp. Here's the sun. It's all there. Oh my God. Now, things aren't going well for Elon Musk generally. He's getting worse by the hour. What a vicious, repressed, nasty, misogynistic bit of work he is. Apparently, he's forwarding tweets to the effect that you need testosterone to actually be able to think clearly. Ergo, women can't think. And where do they get off on this? Where do they get off on this ancient stuff? Oh, now the fun bit. Don Jr. and Eric, always after a quick return, the boys, the demon spawn of the Yeti. Oh my God. So now they've conceived this business model. It's a cryptocurrency thing. And they're just in the process of launching it. World Liberty Finances. Always be suspicious when you hear voting in integrity and world liberation, world freedom, world anything, look out. So let's see what's going to happen with their business. I'm going to use the circus cards. And apparently the launch itself has been fraught with scams. So if you go on the site, it takes you to all these scam sites. I don't know if it's someone doing us a favor or they're just trying to cut corners and don't have good security. But you can't launch a successful financial industry or branch of industry when you can't provide basic security to people who are signing up. It's gobsmacking, isn't it? So let's see what's going to happen with world liberty. What is happening with Don Jr. and Eric with the circus cards? Really? Oh, here are the dancing girls. Oh. Oh, you got to get your laughs where you can, don't you, really? Look. So this is the launch from their point of view, you know, symbolically with the dancing girls or whatever. But check out the horse in this image. It's a tired old horse rolling its eyes. It's sick of this one-trick pony show, the Trump show. The horse knows the dancing girls just want to get paid. Okay. Oh, whoops, can't go past the lid blowing off Trump Tower symbolically and possibly quite literally. I think this will be an unmitigated disaster. They get the magician, which is they'll be able to suck some people in, and there's always new rogue traders out there who are trying the new shiny thing. They will pull investors in, but look out. They are targeting you, the new investor, in the shadows here and are about to pierce your heart. So I think much like the DJT media saga, this is going to go very badly for investors. So if you're a Saudi prince or a Russian oligarch or whatever, and you can afford to lose the money, go hard. But look at this. They get the tarot card. All right, my lovelies. Now, I've just done a show with Hogarth and Lady G. If you missed it live, dive back in and check that out. Oh, and another big news, I'm opening my books again for readings. So you can get in touch with me via email. I'll put it on the video and tell me where you live, please. Okay. So I'm just going to book up quickly for the next few months and stop. I don't like getting too far ahead. I mean, some readers are booked out 6 months and a year ahead. I don't know what I'm doing next Tuesday, so I don't work quite the same way. So I'm opening the books for now, okay? So if you want a general reading or a past life reading, get in touch. Take care. Bye.